Hello guys, welcome back to the Rich Tech channel. It's been a while since I made a video on Ev3. Today I'm going to make a video on Ev3 which is related to first Lego League challenge. Now one thing I have realized in my training since I started this is that most of the students who go for FL competitions always want to program their robots at certain points to move straight, but they find it difficult to do that. So in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to program the robot to move straight or to move forward straight no matter what, or no matter the obstacles in front of it, or no matter the external force that is exerted on it. Okay, so we are going to move into the coding, but before that, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, subscribe, and then turn on the notification bell and like this video if it benefits you. Okay, so without wasting time, let's create a new project. So I'm just going to click on the plus sign here, add a project. Now the robot I have here is a simple driving based robot which has two color sensors, one gyro sensor, and then three motors, which is two large motors and then a medium motor. Now in this program, the things we are going to make use of are the large motors and the gyro sensor. So the code that we are going to write is basically going to make use of just two large motors and then the gyro sensor, because the gyro sensor makes the robot know the angle or the degree of turn it has made, or how tilted it is as it's moving, either 10 degrees to the right or the maybe 5 degrees to the left. And you all know that the large motors are also those you are going to use for movement. So in this tutorial, since our robot is going to move forward, we are going to use the large motors. So right now, let's go into the coding and see how everything works. So the first block I'm going to pick is the color sensor block. So I'll pick the color sensor block. So mind you, I'm going to pick all the blocks I'll be needing in this program and place them where they are supposed to be. After that, I'm going to set them to their respective states. Okay, so we are going to need a gyro sensor first here. The next block is a loop block. So we add a loop block because we are going to repeat certain actions. Now, since we are going to make use of the two large motors for movement, we are going to bring a block that is going to control both motors at a time, which is the steering block. Now I'm going to bring another gyro sensor block here in the loop before the move steering block. So we are going to move to data operations palette and then pick a math block and put that one in between the gyro sensor block and the move steering block. So now these are the blocks we are going to make use of. So let's move into the states of these blocks. Now the first gyro sensor here is going to be set to reset. Okay, and I'm going to explain that. Now this is going to be set to measure, and then we are going to measure angles. Now the values of A and B will be multiplying each other, so we are going to select multiply from here. and we are going to set this move steering block to on, because we have not yet given any condition for this particular code to stop. So we are going to move forward forever. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this to the first value of the math block. That's the um, value I read from the gyro sensor as the robot is moving. I'm going to connect that to the first value of the math block. Now, as I said, the value A is going to multiply value B. So I'm going to set this value B to -1, and I'll explain that later why it's minus. Then the answer we get from multiplying the value read by the gyro sensor and -1, we bring that value here and set it to be the steering of our robot. So we are not going to move fast, just move slow. So let me set this to 20. Okay, so let's see the port numbers. I have my gyro sensor or my Ev3 brake connected to port 2. I also have my large motor blocks connected to ports B and C respectively. The right is connected to port C, and then the left motor is connected to port B. So now let's go into the explanation of the code. So the first thing that will happen when this code is going when this code start running on the laptop is the robot or the intelligent brake is going to reset the gyro sensor. So before it runs anything here in the loop, no matter where or the value the gyro sensor has recorded already, it's going to be reset to 0. So that's what you are going to do here. So as we reset our gyro sensor to 0, we move here to the loop. Now in the loop, mind you, all the things here are going to be repeated and repeated and repeated. Okay, so the condition here is what is going to break this particular actions out of the loop. So when this condition here is met, that is when it's going to continue with the codes after it. But here I have set the condition to unlimited. That means I'm going to repeat everything here in the loop forever. Okay, so immediately we reset our gyro sensor. All these code here, these 3 block of codes, 1 2 3, they are going to be repeated and repeated and repeated. Okay, so that is what is going to happen. So the first thing here is we are going to measure the current value of our gyro sensor. Now when we get the current value, we are going to put it here and set it to be the value of A. Now the value of A is going to be multiplied by the value of B, which is -1, and the answer we get, we give it to the steering or the large motors as steering. Okay, so if you get a negative value from this calculation, it's going to move the robot towards the left side. If we get a positive value from this particular math block as the answer, it's going to move the robot towards the right. Now we are going to move the robot with a speed of 20. Okay, we are going to move the robot with a speed of 20. So first we reset our gyro sensor to 0. As the robot is moving, we record the gyro sensor reading, and the value we get, we multiply it by -1. Then the answer we get, we use that as the steering. So imagine your robot is moving and it is tilted, or it is hit by an external force which makes it turn a particular angle. Okay, so let's say the angle is -5, or let's say +5, okay, to the right. So the gyro sensor will record that value, and then that +5 will be multiplied by -1, which will give us an answer of -5. Now that answer will be given to the steering, which will turn the robot towards the left until the gyro comes back to 0. Okay, so that is going to make the robot move forward straight. So when the value here is 0, that means the robot is moving straight, and then 0 times -1 is going to give you 0. And if we have a steering of 0 here, obviously the robot is going to move forward straight. So yeah, this is basically a simple code for a move forward straight for EV3. In the next tutorial, I'm going to make a video on how to make the robot move backwards as well. Yes, backwards straight, no matter what happens to it, any external force exerted on it wouldn't affect it. It's going to move forward straight. Okay, so I'm not going to end here. We are going to upload the code on our EV3 and see how it runs on that as well. Okay, so let's run it. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you got benefits. Well, if you learned something new, don't forget to leave a like just to encourage me to do more videos of this kind.